So that what does this mean for the university, ultimately? Well, it completely changes how learning is supported at the university. So that now a professor can come to the Bach Center and to Harvard X to really develop new things. It's not simply about learning. It's not simply about solving a problem with their teaching. It's about pushing the envelope, discovery. So it's quite interesting that universities like Harvard and Kyoto have for decades upon decades built research centers in engineering, in the arts, in stem cell biology, focused on discovery. But quite often, teaching and learning has been historically focused on training and fixing. Now, the combination of the Bach Center and Harvard X is in effect designed to create that discovery space for faculty to come and innovate in teaching and learning. So that for the university, this has changed our view of how teaching and learning is now a critical part of scholarly discovery and research, like any other field you can think of. But what this has also done is change how we think about the role of the university in the landscape of knowledge, if you will. Because if you think about the traditional role of a university like Harvard or Kyoto, how do we have impact on the world? What do we contribute out to the world? Of course, critically, we contribute scholarship and research to the world. And we contribute our students to the world as well. But now with efforts like Kyoto-U, like Harvard X, the university can contribute knowledge directly to the world like it never has before. So that now universities can work with high schools and younger to help develop content to improve education at earlier stages. And Harvard X has partnered with several high schools to take Harvard X content to adapt it and use it in high schools. We can change how we interact with cities and communities. Cities care urgently about the professional development and training opportunities for the population. Now universities can contribute more directly than ever before. So Harvard is working with the city of Boston to create a new version of a community center that in part is driven by MOOC content for the population in general. And the government of Mexico is looking at the model that we have created in Boston and is thinking of doing it, for example, in several parts of Mexico as well. And the government of Saudi Arabia is also interested in this concept so that one can work with governmental priorities. So that when the government of Brazil is thinking about how do we train high school teachers to teach science better, now there's the possibility of using online content developed at the university to help meet that need. We can also work with public media. So for example, we're working now with television stations, because once you have high quality material, you can use high quality educational material on television. You can use it in film. What about publishing? Textbook publishers are also interested in working with us so that their content can enhance what we do, and our content can enhance what they do. And of course, there's the universe of private enterprise. How does a company that wants to change its direction train its workforce most effectively? How do you do that? Once again, now a university like Kyoto or Harvard can contribute directly to this process. So another, I think, important realization we made is that once you create high quality and evidence-based, effective educational content, now it's no longer just the impact of your research and scholarship. It's no longer just the impact of your students. The university itself can directly plug into the world, into a network of knowledge across cities, governments, publishing, media, private enterprise, like we never have been able to before. So this, I would argue, is the evolution of the university. So that when a student comes to Harvard, when a student comes to Kyoto, they should come to an institution where their learning experience brings together the very best that technology and the internet has to offer, combined with the very best that I'm sitting in a room with a professor has to offer, that working in a lab has to offer, that going to a library has to offer. How do you combine those things to really transform and create the best learning experience possible? And then ultimately, in exploring that, how does the university now become so much more powerful in the knowledge landscape of the world? So you remember at the beginning, there was that note about disruption. Will Harvard still be here? Will Kyoto still be here? Harvard has invested in the model that, if done right, universities like ours will be more important than ever. Knowledge is the future, ultimately, and our role in creating knowledge and distributing knowledge is more important than ever, not less important. And so this is sort of a moment in time where institutions need to evolve. And those that don't embrace this, in my view, those are the institutions that are at risk of being disrupted. But I know that Kyoto is not one of them, because you have embraced what this opportunity might be. So I think I have like 10 minutes left or so. So I'd love to take any questions or comments that you might have. Thank you very much for listening.